Now, last year, I said that if I could choose between having a seat at the 50-yard line at the Super Bowl or being at the Youth of the Year, that I would choose to be here every year. But I have to be honest. As a lifelong, die-hard, suffering Philadelphia sports fan, I had to think twice. And I thought about it. And as much as I would love to have been in Minneapolis, I'd still rather be here tonight. So we have three purposes for tonight, three goals. First one, I want you to have fun. Come here, enjoy your friends, enjoy your company, feel the energy, enjoy some good food, and be inspired. I want you to wake up tomorrow morning glad you chose to spend your evening with us here tonight. I want to give a thanks to Jeff and Lizette for being our amazing hosts this evening. And I want to give a special thanks to Lizette for making this by far our best Youth of the Year ever. And when I say I want you to have fun, this is the kind of fun we're talking about. Remember that, Susan? We want you guys to all have fun. The second purpose of tonight is about growth. What you are seeing here tonight, about to see, is real-time youth development. These are kids growing right in front of our eyes, just like the Olympians who have been preparing for a long time for their big events in the next coming days and weeks. Our kids have been practicing hard, and they're going to rise to the challenge tonight, and they're going to deliver performances better than they ever have, and better than they possibly could have imagined that they would have done years, even a few weeks ago or months ago. And to see the pride they take when they execute and achieve their dreams is what's so wonderful about tonight. So it's just phenomenal growth. But while the Olympians are spending time developing skills that are of, questionable value, once the Olympics are over, what do you do with that? Our kids are spending the time developing real life skills that are going to serve them for the rest of their lives. They're learning how to write essays. They're learning how to communicate the vision of their future. They're learning how to interview with people. They're learning how to firm handshake. They're learning how to look someone in the eye. These are the kind of skills that are going to serve them well, no matter how they age and what they do next. And what's great about growth, it's not just the 4 kids you see here tonight. It's certainly them, but it's also all the 18 high school youth of the year who went through this process. They're also growing. And it's also all of the kids in the Boys and Girls Clubs, all 2,500 of them, who look up to these kids as their role models, who are growing by seeing a positive direction and a role model for what they could be someday. It's our staff who's growing. And what I love the most, it's our community that's growing. Too often we stay stratified in our own little neighborhoods and don't cross over to mingle with other neighborhoods. But tonight, we're breaking down those barriers and we're all coming together. And we're having a rare shared experience together, all to deepen a sense of shared compassion within our community. So thank you for being here and being part of that sharing. Now, you guys are here, but it's not free. You're not here as passive spectators. Don't be sitting on your hands. No, we need you. We need you to be active participants. These youth of the year have worked so hard. They've sacrificed so many weekends. They prepared hard. We need to show them the love and respect that they've earned, and most importantly, make it fun for them tonight. So I want you to bring the energy, and I want you to give these four students here the same kind of home court advantage that the Warriors get at Oracle Arena. All right, trust the process. The third goal for tonight is we want you to join Team BGCP. We've got great staff, got great board and all, but we still need your support. Help be part of this. Help us continue to help serve more students and continue to evolve and become a stronger organization. Now, I'm guessing I know many of you, this is your first time coming to a Boys and Girls Club. And if you're like most people, you've got a pretty good idea of what the Boys and Girls Clubs does. You may have heard about it from other cities. I know. We're a place where little kids come, hang out, and play basketball, right? Well, yes, little kids do come here, and little kids do play basketball. In addition, we have big kids who come and play basketball here as well. Some are 6'11". And that's thanks to our amazing new basketball court in Redwood City, thanks to the Katie Foundation. So thank you very much for that. And so, while we're proud of our basketball program, I know Devontae and Liddell grew up doing that, we've had to evolve as an organization because the world's changed. And in 2018, there are no jobs out there for high school graduates who don't have some kind of post-secondary training. So we believe all of our students have to graduate from high school and get some kind of post-secondary training. Could be a 4-year college, could be a 2-year college, could be the military, it could be some kind of a technical degree or certificate, but they need something. So we've doubled down on that and to make sure that we're providing or focusing our mission around school success. And the key to that strategy is partnering with the schools. We now run programs on school campuses. We tightly integrate our after-school and summer programs with the schools. So for a kid, it's a seamless transition. If you ask a principal, she'll say her school goes from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We share staff with the schools. We share curriculum, and we're now even starting to share data so we can best serve our students. In fact, 80% of our students are now served on school campuses. And what's great about that is not only is the program stronger because we can integrate, but because we can now serve more students without having to build more expensive clubhouses like this. And this year we decided to double down on our academic support. And the key thing we focused on for the elementary school students was literacy. All the research talks about the need for third graders to be reading at grade level. So we've hired a bunch of full-time literacy coordinators who actually push in during the school day to support the teachers. They're able to provide small group instruction like you see here and group the kids according to ability. And so far, it's going great around that. And then this summer, we do a partnership with the districts. We've completely merged our summer program with the Ravenswood and Redwood City school districts. The students get 3 hours of core academic instruction from certified teachers in the morning, and then in the afternoon, they get to participate in Camp Galileo programming. Now, I'm sure a lot of your kids have all gone to Camp Galileo. My 3 kids all participated in it, and now they're able to receive that programming at the Boys and Girls Club's programming. And the Camp Galileo, it's all about innovation and a builder's mindset. So they're getting both the academic piece in the morning and then the wonderful enrichment in the afternoon. And thanks to the number of high school volunteers we have, I'm guessing a lot of your kids have been high school volunteers. We had 150 last year. The students are learning with a ratio of 5 to 1. It's incredibly small group learning. And so the kids, not surprisingly, 95% avoid summer learning loss. And even more importantly, they have fun learning. They learn that school can be fun, and they look forward to going back again in the fall. And with these combined after-school and summer programs, we're providing an additional 700 hours of expanded learning time for our students. That's a 60% increase over what they get from the school day alone. For the middle school students, we decided to focus on academic advising, helping the students figure out, as they're making the transition from elementary into high school, so what's their identity? Helping them think about themselves as, in fact, scholars, making sure that they're not falling behind in middle school, that they're able to enter high school on track without any support classes ready to go. And then for the high school students, we have a range of focus areas, or 2 focus areas, I should say. One is for the 9th graders. That's the grade that a lot of our students, unfortunately, struggle in, and while they may not drop out in 9th grade, they may fall off track. So we've developed a case management program where we serve many of the freshmen on campus at various high schools, as well as at the clubhouses, to provide the counseling and to make sure that they're doing their homework, they're enrolling in the right classes, and they're just engaged and active students. For the upperclassmen, we have an incredible college access program called Future Grads. We now have 210 students in it, all first-generation students, just like the 4 kids you're going to meet tonight. And I want to give a big thanks to Tony and Denise and their friends and table for helping make that possible, wherever they are. And then in the summer for our high school students, it's about career exploration and thinking about what careers are out there. And we have some very, very deep partnerships with these organizations where our kids don't just do field trips, but they go regularly. They go maybe 15 times during the summer and meet with different departments and learn about different careers within these organizations. So it's really been phenomenal. And as you heard earlier, 5 of our Youth of the Year last year had this incredible internship at YouTube, and that, again, was thanks to Susan. So we were anticipating a little bit of a bidding war, so if any of you are interested, I know Ann and Susan have some negotiations to do. I've just hired Scott Boris to be on our staff, and if you want to hire any of our kids, call me up and we'll see if we can strike a deal. Just some more background on the club, what makes us unique, because you may say, well, there are lots of organizations in Ravenswood or East Palo Alto. What does the Boys and Girls Clubs do that's different? Well, our scale. There's no one that approaches our scale. 2,500 kids, and I don't mean kids who just come once in a while. These kids are coming an average of 4 days a week. We serve all grades, K through 12, which is unusual, and I don't know anyone who does that and also offers programming in the school year and the summer. It's pretty exhausting, but it just makes more sense from a return on investment standpoint, and we have the infrastructure, we have the staff, so we just keep running year-round. And our programs are in East Palo Alto, Eastern Menlo Park, and Redwood City. We're local. This is our community. All of our resources, all of our effort is focused right here in our community. Now, I'm a little biased, I agree, but I think our staff's incredible, and I think it's a real differentiator. We have a team here of people who could be working anywhere in Silicon Valley. They choose to come here because they're inspired by the mission, they're inspired by our strategy, by our vision, and most importantly, they're motivated by their heart because they care about the opportunity gap and they want to help the low-income kids become successful. And so it's just very much a pleasure working with this incredible organization of people. And as Susan mentioned, or maybe Ann mentioned, I forget, this is an incredible differentiator as well. We serve all kids. Everyone's welcome at the Boys and Girls Club. Now, so those are some of the successes. That's what's going well. We're not done. There's so much more we could be doing. For example, the superintendent of Redwood City wants us at all the schools in Redwood City. We're currently only at 3 of them. We met with him recently, and he said that the principals who don't have our program are complaining to him about the fact that they don't have the program. It's not fair that other schools do have our program. And they're saying they can't achieve their objective as educators without a program like ours. So he's asking us to expand it there. We've talked to principals, and they say they love our small group literacy instruction that we're piloting this year, but they don't want it piloted in 2nd and 3rd grade. They want it for all their grades. They want us to expand that. The high school principals tell us they like our case management, but they don't want it just for the 9th graders. They say the 10th graders need it an additional year as well. And then while our Future Grads program is going great for those kids who want to go to college, there's still a bunch of kids who, for whatever reason, don't want to go to a 4-year college or a 2-year college right after high school. And today, we don't have a great solution for them. So we need to develop a more robust parallel process for those students to help them get on a career track so they can find some kind of economically self-sustaining career that may not require college immediately upon graduation. Now later tonight, after you hear the speeches, you're going to have an opportunity to join Team BGCP. But I want to share with you that what I love most about the Boys and Girls Clubs is that this is not a charity. These kids are not asking for a handout. They don't want you to give them anything. They just want a hand, a guiding light. I'll tell you a story. It was Veterans Day, and all the schools were off. I know my kids were home relaxing. And our 5 Youth of the Year from Redwood City spent the whole day, starting at 8 a.m. at Menlo College, working with their mentor, Denzel. And I went there at 3:30 in the afternoon. They'd already been there for, 7.5 hours. And I asked them what was going on and everything, and they kind of grumbled, well, yeah, I can't believe we had to come here. I wish I could have stayed at home and sleep. Then we talked a little further, like, but we're so glad we came. We ended up bonding and creating a strength with each other that we didn't know we had. And I probed a little further, what do you mean? And they said, well, we have so much in common. We all come from struggle, was a quote he used. And then they started sharing some of the struggles I've come with, which actually were much deeper than the ones you're going to hear about tonight, and things that no young person should ever have to experience. But what was interesting is that they weren't complaining about it. It was just a very matter of fact. In fact, my Harvard Business School classmates complained more about their tax rates than these young men and women were complaining about their life circumstances. But they're just saying it as in the sense of this is where I started, this is who I am. But then where are they going? And that was the great part. It was like, okay, yes, and now I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to do that. And they talked about how the Boys and Girls Clubs provided them with direction and a sense of hope and opportunity and showed them the light. So what these kids want is, again, not a handout. They want someone to help them hold their hand once in a while, kick them in the butt once in a while, shine a flashlight, because they may not know where to go. They may have a situation where they're caught somewhere, and the only path they see is what their older brother's doing, and they know that they don't want to follow that path. So they want us to shine that light and to follow that path and to maybe walk side by side until they're ready to run on their own. And just to see that the strength these guys have and the character and the courage just inspires me beyond words, and I'm just so proud of them, and you'll get a chance to hear their stories later tonight. So as I mentioned, we're not asking for a handout tonight, but I do want your partnership. And I want to make you a deal. And my deal is if you invest your resources with the Boys and Girls Clubs, my staff and I will work our hardest to design the best programs, to hire the best staff, to put them in the right jobs, to make sure that we can best help our students succeed. So tonight, have fun, bring the energy, join Team BGCP, and let's work together in partnership with shared values to make our community right here a great place for all of our kids to grow up. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Scott, that was fantastic. And I know you were busy up here and the lights are kind of bright, so it's possible you didn't get a chance to see what Molly was doing in the stage, but we actually caught a video of it. So let's see what Molly was up to. Love that, love that. She's always supporting you, Scott. That was fantastic. And then, we talked tonight. I asked you guys to bring the energy. And I want to say that you really did bring the energy tonight. And I want to say particularly Alan and Jason, you guys crushed it tonight. So you were really, thank you, team Alan and Jason, for being the heroes tonight. All right. Well, before we announce who the representative is, I want to do one last thank you to our judges. I mentioned earlier how important this evening is for these students and the whole Boys and Girls Clubs. And to have 5 just phenomenal community leaders, but obviously global icons here tonight is just beyond words. So thank you for giving of your time and your respect to these students today. So it's my pleasure to announce that the 2018 Boys and Girls Clubs of the Peninsula Youth of the Year representative is Alicia Demery. So while we had to pick one single representative who's going to go, by the way, she's going to go on and represent this organization beautifully in a Boys and Girls Clubs of America competition going forward. This night is about all of the 18 high school youth of the year who all develop the same skills and are all headed to a much brighter future. And I want to ask the 14 of them who are here this evening to please join these 4 on stage. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming tonight. You have just seen here, live and in person, the incredible, heartwarming, earth-shaking, hard-working, homework completing, honor roll making, gratification delaying, high school graduating, community serving, PhD earning, job creating, budget balancing, tax paying, global warming stopping, peace spreading, family loving, disease curing, 100% inspiring BGCP Youth of the Year.